Okay, I'll say it. To me, this seems like just a regular day in Texas, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. But yeah, let's jump into the review of this film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today, we're going to be reviewing the film The Forever Purge, which is going to be coming in theaters finally July 2nd, because it was going to be released last year, but because of the pandemic, they held off, and now it's getting this chance to be released in theaters. They didn't go to digital route. They're going straight to theaters with this one. And as they always do, they tend to release Purge movies within the 4th of July weekend or within that frame some point. But yeah, you know, at the very core base minimum of this film, this seems like just a regular day of being in Texas. You got a bunch of people taking their patriotism in their hands, and they decide that if you ain't a patriot, we're coming after you. And if you don't look like you are one of us, then we're coming after you. And that's what that is, except it's in the Purge universe, where the Purge allows that one night where there's no laws and you can do whatever you want to do. There's no laws in place, which means violence, robbery, murder, whatever it may be, in order to cleanse yourself is allowed. But you got this group of people that's like, yeah, that's not good enough. We need it forever. Thus the Forever Purge. And you got these group of people who are pretty much trying to overthrow the United States by taking it into their own hands and saying that we're going to purge forever. Alongside of that, there also are targeting, because this one's taking place in Texas. They're targeting Mexicans. So if you are Mexican, you need to go back to your country, and if not, we're coming after you. And all other types of slanderous words are being thrown at Mexicans because of that. Does this not sound familiar to you all? And like, even still, while this concept seems interesting for a movie, I am underwhelmed with this. I love the Purge franchise, and I love the concept of where this franchise and this universe can go. But for this to be the final film, the final chapter, I'm super disappointed and underwhelmed. Even the ending of this film, I was just kind of like, what? That's it, you know? So I'm definitely disappointed with this being the final chapter of the Purge, because there's just so many different things they could do with this franchise, whether it's on film, the television show, which I thought was really good as well too. And for this to be it, I'm just underwhelmed, like, for real. Because for one, I thought that your core group of protagonists, which is consists of a group of Mexicans who escaped Mexico and under the grips of the cartel, and they find shelter at a ranch, which consists of Mexicans and Americans. These Texas Americans, white people, that they grow fond to each other, and there's some friction between the two of them. And yes, they have racial talk, which you would expect, but nonetheless, they try to work together in order to, what they think, survive the night, what ultimately means surviving this whole whatever is coming at them. So believe it or not, which I still can't believe they went this route with it, with America being on fire, Mexico opens up their borders along with Canada, but because we're in Texas, the closest border is Mexico. Mexico opens up its borders to allow Americans to seek refuge. Mexico, the country that we wanted to build a wall up to keep them out, and you know, also got, you know, people in shelters on the borders, decide to open it up to save Americans. Who would have thought they would have went that route? So yes, they do that. And yeah, the big thing for me is just that while all this is all happening, I just never really feared for the safety of the protagonists here. Every other film, I was like, oh my god, will they make it? How's it gonna go? And like, yes, I get it, the Purge explores a lot of political things. The richer get rich, the injustice and all the corruption and whatnot, and people even predicting things to come. I get all that, but at the core minimum of this film, like, I just never ever connected with the group of protagonists, the thinking that they would be in any form of danger here. I don't know why, but it just never worked for me. But I will tell you something that's super interesting that I know they thought this one out. You have this character, Darius, who is probably the only black person in this film. And with everything that's happening and what I mentioned about people targeting Mexicans and the slanderous words that they're using towards them, this guy Darius is actually one of the good guys, and he saves one of the good guys in a quick situation. And you're thinking like, oh, he's getting ready to go on a journey with them. They quickly exit him out because there's no way they can have his character involved in this. Because if you had the concept of white Americans hunting black people in this way, shape, or form, where you have these patriots going after people and killing them because they aren't our people and they're not, you know, considered the group of people who are patriots who believes in the Forever Purge, and thus they attack them, you know that's not gonna go over well. That would have made this movie taint before it even got a chance to get out. But yeah, they quickly avoided that, and I noticed that early. I was like, yeah, and that's not gonna be good, because I mean, when I talk about the slanderous words, they're talking about the color of the Mexican skin and go back to your country and all this other stuff that happens in real life today. So like, you definitely don't want to go down that route, because while this is a horror film, and also because it's dealing with politics, you also don't want to bring that level of realism in it. It's not needed, and the entertainment factor is completely gone. But other than that, the film, the whole crew of people, the acting was okay. There were some good action moments. The gore was pretty solid. There was a lot of cliche dialogue. A lot of the progressions and transgressions in this film, super predictable. So you definitely seen what was coming next and how it was all going to play out. So the enjoyment factor for all of the Purge movies is there, but for this to be the last hurrah, it just lacked. It really, really lacked. I was expecting more, even though I didn't even realize this film was coming out. But again, the fact that I know it's the last film, I'm expecting a lot. Go out with a bang, do something and explore something that's going to want us wanting more, even if this is the last film. And it completely botched that completely. Like it's just whatever. It has come and now it's gone for me. So yeah, I hate to be harsh on it, because I really love the Purge franchise, the universe, and all the ideas that they could explore, but this one just didn't really do it for me. It did not come together to a point that I constantly was thinking like, oh my god, what would they do next? Where would they go next? This is one of the ones where it's like, okay, good, they're done. Maybe they're rebooted at some point, maybe another season of the television show, I don't even know. But as far as the films, that just seems to be it, and I'm cool with that. So yeah, and I will say too, there's a lot of cool masks and costumes in this, so I expect a lot of people to be getting really busy during Halloween, getting their Purge gear, because that's a thing, folks. Yes, people like the neon light helmets, face masks, and whatever. So I expect a lot of people to be seeing what they can get from this one. And by the way, this film also was going down a Saw route at a point with some of the like gadgets and stuff they had. So like some of the killing and the gore, like I said, was done really well. I definitely will give it the props for that. But like the action with the guns and combat, nah. Nah. But yeah, folks, if you're checking out The Purge, jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, folks, stay tuned, because we got more reviews coming very soon. Thank you for watching, folks.